What's up, guys? How you doing? I've returned for another video, and this is going to be my prediction video for University of Hawaii versus UC Santa Barbara. I'm just going to go with Santa Barbara this time. I'm going to try to keep this a little short. So, let's get started. I'm going to put up my banner here. Santa Barbara prediction. I'm putting UH as 6-point underdogs because obviously Barbara is a team that is extremely hard to beat, and the University of Hawaii has had their fair share of troubles against UCSB. And last season, we could have gotten a split from them, but unfortunately, it did not go well, even though that was probably one of the best second halves that UH had put on last season. Unfortunately, last season was full of Jekyll and Hyde games. They would do good in one half and kind of crappy in the second half, or vice versa. And in that case, UH obviously defends home court, is going to have to defend home court. And last season, they almost pulled off the win. Unfortunately, A.J. Mitchell ruined the party for the University of Hawaii with a layup with a few seconds to go. And after Noel Coleman's last-second shot did not go in the bucket at all at the buzzer, that was a result of probably the worst, probably the best second half that UH had played, and it went down the toilet all because of one shot that went in. And unfortunately, in the road matchup, UH got completely worked. They lost by double digits. The closest they got was 15. And I'll tell you this, if the University of Hawaii is going to come through with a win over Santa Barbara, and even for the rest of the season for that matter, season control early is going to be a matter of life and death. That's what it looks like to me. Because for 4 straight games, UH had lost at home. And that was because they let their opponents get whatever they wanted, and they ended up falling behind by double digits. Or in Cal State Fullerton's case, they fell behind by 7, and they managed to take the lead repeatedly, but something just kept going wrong where they ended up getting sent back to square one, whether it was a turnover or a stupid call from the officials. And I think it's a mix of both that caused that to happen, at least against Fullerton anyway. But UH ended up winning that home game against UCSB after being down by 19 early in the second half. I'm not going to lie to you, but I think the days of UH falling behind by double-digit margins and coming back to win are long over. You just can't afford to do that, especially in a conference like this when you're lacking something. And in 2022, UH was barely lacking anything. They had the horses, and the fact that they had lost Samutsa Avea and Juan Munoz at the start of the season kind of put them back a little bit. And they even lost Mate Chelina for 6 weeks, Bernardo da Silva for 6 weeks. They lost Noel Coleman for 2.5 weeks. And some guys didn't make the trip because of COVID concerns. But still, UH showed that they were ready to go for conference play. And they started out with 6 straight wins, 7 if you count UC San Diego, because the games against UC San Diego did not count for conference play because they were still transitioning to Division I. So why am I saying 6-point underdogs for UH? Because Santa Barbara is an athletic team. They got guys like A.J. Mitchell. I'm not sure if other shooters like Cole Anderson or some other people are still on the roster. But at the start of the season, Santa Barbara did not look like themselves. As a matter of fact, they started out 0-3 in conference play, and a lot of people thought that it might be Santa Barbara, Irvine, and UH in that order, perhaps. But of course, sometimes these things just don't work out. So I'm really looking for UH to come through and come out with a point to prove. And on top of all that, they need to learn to seize control early, because they need to, whatever their salvage of this season, as far as salvaging the season is concerned, season control, I said this earlier, is going to be a matter of life and death. Because the fact that they are 3-5 right now, when they really should be kind of flip-flopped, or at least be 6-1 like the Wahine basketball team are, they were expected big things, especially last season where they were picked to finish second. And I'm never going to lose faith in this team. I bleed the University of Hawaii men's basketball team. And I still believe that they can be a great team. But they just have to execute when it counts. And they can't be taking 2 or 3 or 5 minutes or even 10 minutes just to get into their flow or get into their offense. They need to do something now. And why am I saying 6-point underdogs? Another reason? I don't know, just to kind of get them going, to kind of prove me wrong. And make no mistake, I like to be proven wrong. In 2022, I didn't think they would come away with the win against Santa Barbara at all, especially at home. And look what happened. They came back from 19 down to win it by 7. And that was probably one of the happiest games I'd ever seen. And last season, they almost pulled off the upset, but Javon McClanahan didn't challenge A.J. Mitchell's layup because he didn't think it would go. And I couldn't see why he didn't. I couldn't even see why he didn't do that. So I guarantee you Javon McClanahan has got to be thinking about that a little bit sooner or later, because that basically cost them the win, and that pretty much ruined their season. They couldn't really get a complete 40-minute effort until they won at Cal State Bakersfield. Because after that, that was pretty much like, what did we just see? And as a result, UH finished 5th in Big West play in the standings. And they were bounced by Cal State Fullerton. And that's now 5 straight times that UH has fell to Cal State Fullerton, if you count this home matchup. And I sure as hell hope it's not going to be 6 times when they go to their place. But they need to come out with a point to prove and show me that they are ready for this season. Because as far as I'm concerned, any hope that I saw, that I got from non-conference, was taken away in an instant yet again. So anyway, we'll see what happens. And remember, guys, subscribe. That's all I'm going to say for today. And remember, subscribe. That's how my channel grows. I want to keep my monetization status, and the only way I can do that is with your help. So that's if you hit the subscribe button. So anyway, guys, that's all. And remember, subscribe. I'll catch y'all later. Well, I'm a punter, everyone.